every one of us. Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. So this morning's message is for every spiritual being. So that means every single one of us is being asked to lean into this message. And this message is something I think all of us need to hear every now and then. And this morning, during my meditation, I was reminded of how I felt on a particular morning, day 17 to be exact, during a 30-day experience of silence back in my mid-20s, my first trip to Nepal, my first trip to India and the Himalayas. I was staying in a monastery for something called a Datun. And a Datun is a 30-day silent retreat where you are asked for 14 hours a day to sit in meditation, to work on yourself, to love yourself, to listen to yourself. What I found more importantly than anything was to soften myself so I could actually begin to feel my true self. So if you presently are doing any work on the spiritual level, and I think all of us are, whether or not we really know it or not, just waking up in the morning is a spiritual adventure these days with all that's going on in the world. And I think this community in particular, I like to say we are warriors for the light. Day 17 in particular for me was a time that I kind of cracked open. There was a lot of crying. There was a lot of, it was beautiful. There was this just dark heaviness. And then there was this crystal light that kept on kind of flickering in the darkness. It was almost like, don't give up. Don't let go. Don't disbelieve in yourself, James. Just keep on with what it is that you know to be your truth and hold to it fast. And that was the beginning of a transformative time that continues to this day. In every meditation, there's glimpses of this every single morning. And I want to share with you something I was told when I finished this meditation experience after the 30 days of silence. My meditation teacher looked at me and said, gosh, you look like something really good happened, but you also look like it's something that you're not finished with. And I'm glad to see that, he said. And I said, no, I think on one level I want to be finished. I kind of want to go to that place where I have those moments of bliss, but I know I've got more work to do. And he said, yeah, you have work to do the rest of your life. You will always have moments where you kind of go, oh my gosh, so this is what it feels like to be spiritual. And then you'll have the moments where you are the days or the longer periods of time where you'll be in the darkness and you'll feel the sadness, the challenges, the heaviness of life. And you're also going to be asking yourself, is this spiritual too? And that's when he said something to me I'll never forget. He said, the way of the Bodhisattva is just that. And for people who are not familiar with the term Bodhisattva, I've always there's a proper, if you will, an empirical meaning behind Bodhisattva that the Buddhists say. It's like a person who is kind of ascending, doing a lot of deep spiritual work and continually to evolve, working towards sort of that Buddha state. And then, rather than kind of going and ascending, this Bodhisattva turns around and comes back and says, hey, everybody, we're in this together. And let's be light together. And the Bodhisattva takes a vow to make sure that they show up every single day in the human form, to be a spiritual presence, to be a presence for hope and love and light for everybody. And I'll never forget what that was like for me, because I, at that time, thought, oh my gosh, I am going to stay here in this monastery. I'm going to be one of those Americans who never leaves the Himalayas, and I'm just going to meditate. And my goal will be just to get to that space where I'm quote unquote enlightened, or at the very least, I'm more peaceful with myself, more loving towards myself. And I think I can do that if I'm with just myself. And my meditation teacher said, that's not that difficult to do. What's really difficult to do is to go back out in the world, be in the world, and love that same way. Love yourself that way. Don't leave yourself during times of trouble. And when you're surrounded by challenges, people, experiences, different things that happen in the spiritual life, you continually remember the light that you are. And you welcome others to see the work that you're doing, vulnerability being an asset, not a liability. So if you, like me, are ever in a place where you're going, gosh, being spiritual is awesome, but it's also really hard, and sometimes I just want to go and meditate my life away, remember the vow of the Bodhisattva. Because the Bodhisattva, I think, is what the world needs right now. People who have tasted or really, really feast on their spiritual practices and sometimes feel pulled to want to go and just do that. But remember that the greatest spiritual work is to remember that karma yoga, selfless service, what the Bodhisattva vow is really all about, is staying here and being present for all of this and being a representation for love and light for every single one. You become a galvanizer for common humanity. You become a representation for what love looks like when there's only the condition of love. And trust me, every single day, I believe I fail at this, but every single day I work at it. And I don't work at it by clinging to it. I work at it by allowing it. This is not a willpower thing. It's a willingness thing. So to all the bodhisattvas here in this community who chose to stay here, to do the real work, which is to be in the trenches of humanity, to be out in the world shining your light, to continually broadcast love and hope and possibility to every single being that you lay eyes on. And equally important, the one who lays eyes on you feels a sense of hope and possibility and love just by knowing and seeing you. Thank you. I see you. I appreciate you. I'm so deeply grateful for the work that you do, the work that you are, and the love that you emanate. Much love and all blessings. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.